Hello, families. Welcome to Art in Motion and our virtual open house. We are hoping this time we spend with you will allow us to provide some context around what we're doing at Art in Motion, what's happening next year for our ninth grade. And we want to first just welcome all of you and congratulate you for being admitted to Art in Motion for ninth grade. We want you to meet some of our founders, and we want to just let you know what your experience will be like as we go through our Art in Motion journey together. During this call, we will talk about a little bit about Distinctive Schools, which is our charter management organization and the founding of all of this. We'll talk about Art in Motion. We'll talk about our academic model and our arts model and how those work together. We'll talk about our social emotional learning component and how that's so important to us here at Art in Motion. And we'll get a parent perspective, which is really, really important for all of you who are still in the process of making a decision for your child, and students, for you to make a decision. And then at the very end, we'll have a live question and answer session where you'll be able to chat questions online and we can answer them to the best of our ability at this point. First, I want to tell you a little bit about who we are. And so joining this call, we have quite a few people. Let's let you guys go ahead and welcome our families and talk a little bit about yourselves, and then I'll introduce me. Amanda, you want to start? Ms. Reichel?
Sure. Hi, my name is Ms. Reichel, and I am one of the directors at Art in Motion, and I really focus on strategy and operations, and I joined Art in Motion because I'm excited to bring arts to the south side of Chicago.
Hello. Yep. Yeah. Hi, hey, everybody. Our future ninth graders. My name is Mr. Acevedo. I'm the Dean of Students here at Art in Motion. And as Ms. May had mentioned earlier, the idea of social emotional learning is at the forefront of what we do at AIM, and which is the main reason why I came and joined the team.
Hi, everybody. My name is Kevin Kreller. I'm the instructional coach at Art in Motion. I also teach a couple history classes as well. I'm very much involved in Art in Motion because I believe in our model. I believe it's transforming public education and providing arts access that's much needed.
Ms. Keys?
Oh, hi, I'm Venice, I'm a visual art teacher at Art in Motion.
Tell us a little bit about why you joined us, Ms. Keys.
I came to Art in Motion just to be innovative. I'm a scholar. I joined Art in Motion because I like to be innovative with my scholarship. I've been teaching in higher education. I've taught all kinds of grades, and I've never interacted personally with middle school students. So I'm excited to just share my knowledge as an art professional and a really committed educator.
Awesome. Ms. Jackson, tell us a little about you.
Hello, my eighth grader is a founding member of Art in Motion's graduating class. And it's been such an amazing time thus far of us being founding families of Art in Motion. We've had some really great experiences and unique, even such so now. And so I'm just excited to continue to grow with the family.
Awesome. Ms. Raina?
Hi, everyone. Welcome. My name is Miss Raina, and I am the enrollment manager at Art in Motion. I joined Art in Motion because I wanted to be a part of this great opportunity for our students in the city of Chicago.
Awesome. Mr. Patuco.
Hi, my name is Matt Patuco, and I'm the Director of Student Enrollment and Engagement for all of Distinctive Schools. And the reason why I love working for this organization is because I believe so deeply in our mission, and that is to personalize learning and to support the whole child. But the reason why it's so exciting to work with Art in Motion in that it's the arts and it's high school, and there is nothing else like this in the city of Chicago. So being able to help bring you into that experience and have you learn more about this opportunity is just really a pleasure and is very exciting for me.
Thank you all so much. My name is Kara May, and I'm one of the directors here at Art in Motion, and I am so thankful for this opportunity to be able to work with our families and our staff and our community in building this arts experience for students on the South Side of Chicago, not only because we want them to be powerful and successful and forceful in their academics, but also because we want them to marry their arts and their academic experience in order to create a whole better person, a better self, and a better contributor to society. And so there's, as a musician, as a vocalist, and then an academic, there's no better job for me right now than to be here a part of Art in Motion. So that's who we are, guys, and we just are so excited to meet you. We're going to talk a little bit about DS, Distinctive Schools. You hear the DS model and the acronym DS. Distinctive Schools is our charter management organization, but DS is so much more than that. It's a nationally recognized nonprofit education group, and it specializes in creating and managing all kinds of innovative schools through personalized learning experience. So we have schools around Chicago as well as in Michigan. Art in Motion is going to be DS's first foray into high school, which is really, really exciting. And we have the only model in this city that combines personalized learning with the arts. And so DS's heart of their strategic plan, which is what you see on your screen here, is culture. And so at the heart of everything that we do is culture and creating a model that not only supports students academically and artistically, but also with their personal learning about themselves and about their social emotion. And we'll talk a little bit more about that later. We wanna let you watch a video that we know you can't be in the school right now. We wish we could be at the school with you, talking to you. But we wanna show you a video that kind of gives you a glimpse of not only who we are and what we're about, but what the school looks like.
I grew up on 89th and Bennett, so to be here on 74th, right off East End, is, man, right in my own neighborhood, to see a school that I'm a part of and bringing it back to our neighborhood in a new way. We bringing stuff that I never would have been exposed to as a kid. Affirmations are incredible.
You know I love
I know you do.
Yeah.
Damn, these affirmations are coming. I need these. Don't stop until you're proud, man.
Yeah.
Leave people better than you found them.
You can be a work in progress and masterpiece.
This is beyond my imagination, like to see, like I literally in this room would feel a certain peace that I actually needed this morning. To know that like our students will be able to come here and like she said, instead of detention or something, come here and get a chance to just censor themselves instead of being punished. Man, I feel like, man, this is what we got to do to change the world.
So if we go in here, this is our visual arts classroom.
Whew. Man, who did all this? Whoa, man. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
His infinity, that's him.
Look at
Holding
that.
his forever in his hand. The girl who did these is 11. Oh my, she's 11. 11 years old.
Serious?
I swear. And we met her the other day and she came and she said, I can't wait to come here.
And now, I have the honor to introduce one of the leading forces behind the school, coordinator.
I just gotta say, I thank God for this moment right here. Carissa said Grammy Awards and Oscars. Well, one Oscars, I want more for it. I can't say that anything is greater than this achievement right here. I always rapped about the revolution, I talked about the revolution, but this truly is the revolution. And as I talked about the revolution, I understand now that the revolution is not only economic, it's not only like social, it's emotional too. And we don't have all those those aspects here. At this school, for our children to be able to breathe and to be able to see and to be able to dream and to be able to pray and to be able to think and create. I was thinking the other day, like, you know, when I was writing some raps, I was like, man, part of the reason I'm rapping good is because I had an education. Because I was able to read and get access to different things. I don't feel like I'm not any more special than any of us here. In fact, y'all gonna go further than I go because you're gonna have a better education, better opportunities.
So that guy probably looked a little familiar. That was Common. And he is one of our founding partners at Art in Motion. Common with Pastor Hannah of New Life Covenant Church Southeast joined forces with Distinctive Schools in order to create for us an optimal opportunity to offer Art in Motion and the experiences of Art in Motion Creative Arts School to our students. One of the things that is so critical to us at Art in Motion is the fact that our vision has stayed the same since the beginning, since the initial charter was written over almost 5 years ago now. And it's the fact that we provide every student, regardless of their zip code, an opportunity to achieve their fullest academic and artistic potential. And so our students receive social emotional supports necessary to exceed, to go beyond those challenging academic and creative arts standards in our personalized learning environment. We allow students in Art in Motion from every zip code within Chicago. And we do that because we want to make sure that all of the students who want this kind of opportunity are able to access it. And so that's become really important to us in our vision of our school. And our partners support that wholeheartedly. On September 3rd, and it seems like it was a really, really long time ago, but it was less than a year ago, we opened our school with 200 7th and 8th graders, and students were from across the city. We had a waiting list of almost 200 students, and so our founding families who are here are our very first Art in Motion families. And so with our core academic and arts model, we are able to build a program that we are going to watch grow. We started in 7th and 8th. Next year, we're adding 9th grade, which is you, and then we'll be adding grades 10, 11, and 12 over time. We have an amazing, amazing opportunity right at the location where we are housed right now at 7415 Southeast End to be able to accommodate 900 students. We are in a building right now that will be able to expand and grow, and we already have architects who are working and developing what that model will look like in 2024. So we are building and growing and learning what we need in order to provide all the opportunities, artistic and academic, that we're able to do for grades 7 through 12. Our model, as we've talked about, is very important to us. The arts and the academics run in parallel tracks because one is not more important than the other. We don't believe at Art in Motion that the arts are a dessert. We believe that the arts are a conduit through which and by which we learn and glean academically. And so at Art in Motion, we make sure that we use social emotional learning as a heartbeat, as a pulse for how we want our students to grow and develop and be able to soar in both their academics and their artistic potential. Currently, we offer grades 7th and 8th English, history, math, and science for our core academic courses. And those students have those classes once per day. Next year, students will also be able to take as 9th graders, Modern World, Integrated Math, Biology, and Spanish, and Health. We make sure that that model is consistent with the standards that are required for collegiate opportunities so that students are not only artistically prepared, but also academically prepared. Mr. Kreller, our instructional coach, is going to talk to you a little bit more about our curriculum and the Summit Learning Model, which provides our platform for our personalized learning. Mr. K?
Thanks, Mrs. May. So in designing this model, we really wanted to truly reimagine education and not just provide the traditional model of textbooks, teachers being the sage on the stage in front of students, just delivering content to them in a very rote fashion. We want students to be really owning their learning and enjoying their learning as much as possible. So we use the Summit Learning Platform to deliver a model that's based in 3 key areas. You'll see here cognitive skills and concepts. These are things that are truly important lifelong skills and transferable to high school, college, and career and life. We also focus on content knowledge, knowing that students need to understand and be able to apply complex, challenging facts and concepts. And then lastly, habits of success. We really want to provide habits, mindsets, and supports that'll help develop purpose in students and focus on their well-being. Part of the Summit Learning Model has 3 key ideas here. The first being one-to-one mentorship. Every student has an adult mentor that they check in with and receive mentoring support from. Real-world projects, where students are spending the majority of their time working alongside teachers and collaborating with classmates on their projects. And lastly, individual pathways. Students being empowered to set goals and deeply understand the content in a way that's best for them.
So Mr. Kreller, tell me just a little bit about why you as a teacher and then as an instructional coach, why you like Summit for our students.
Yeah, Summit provides a really personalized experience. It allows students to kind of understand themselves as people, as learners, what their unique interests and needs are, and sort of understanding their challenges so that they can best plan how to move forward, not just having someone guide them and tell them what to do.
Awesome. And do you find that that supports students in their success?
Of course, especially in terms of knowing themselves and expressing themselves, especially through our arts courses as well. Really encouraging people to be well-rounded, know themselves, and be able to self-direct.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Mr. Kreller.
Thank
you. Hey,
you.
Ms. Keys, can you talk a little bit about our arts platform and about being a student artist at AIM?
Absolutely. Thank you, Mrs. May. So I am so excited to be on the Art in Motion team. We offer music, dance, literary art, and my specialty, visual arts. Students have choice to choose between vocal pedagogy, choir, actual piano practice. We have a lab full of keyboards and the kids love to use them. For dance, they can learn jazz, hip hop, and dance theory. They learn the history behind why the artists before them did what they do. In literary arts, kids can learn how to build a dialogue, a story. They learn character development. Then they become embodying the practice and the philosophy of being an actor. And in my discipline in visual art, I offer 2D design, drawing, 3D design, and painting. So in my research, and one of the reasons I love to be at Art in Motion, I can put my beliefs and my philosophy as a very critical fine artist into the classroom. Kids have to analyze their environment, the theory of art history, and their personal experiences to make art. And art is also about the process. So they're being graded on the path along the way, not just that final product. Wayfinding happens every Wednesday. So students that get to see certain teachers, they get to have one day a week where they get to interact with someone they don't normally see in their normal class load from Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. And the teachers have more of a voice to create course offerings that interest them. Like for instance, we have Drumline. We don't have any kind of music program that has a band, but we have Drumline for wayfinding. And then for all the other wayfindings, it can be things that have nothing to do with our regular curriculum. So there is just so much to explore, and kids can choose 2 different wayfinding classes on Wednesdays.
Awesome. So tell me a little bit about like, it sounds like that excites you.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Me too. It's one of my favorite things about our school. What else is exciting for you about being a founding arts teacher?
Well, actually, I want to just backtrack to that opening video because I was a parent in that video. I was sitting in the crowd. So it excites me to know that right now I'm welcoming more new students because I'm so like a part of the creative aspect, the intellectual aspect. My voice as a teacher is very critical in the physical building of the school. Like you all need my input as a professional in the field. I also get to be challenging. I get to be innovative. I get to come up with things. I'm not only following the national core standards for our state and our nation, I get to be myself authentically.
I love that. Thank you so much because that identity piece is so important to who we are as a
Yeah.
school. Yeah, man, that's so great. So thank you so much for that, Ms. Keys. And when we talk about that identity piece, it brings us really, really nicely, thanks for the segue, into Mr. Acevedo, who's going to talk to us a little bit about our social emotional learning component at our school and just the culture that that's attempting to build. Mr. A?
Yeah, thank you very much, Ms. May.
Sure.
And one of the things I think we believe at our core is that students' minds will not be able to open up to learning on the academic level or in the arts and creative level if they themselves holistically, are if they're not at a good social emotional place. So we have a very strong student support staff at the school. We have a number of deans, probably more than what a typical school would have of this size. We have a social worker, we have our peace room, and all of us from every angle, from the teachers to the student support staff, administration, all really thinking about restorative practices, how to guide students to make better decisions for themselves personally. So for example, if it's emotional regulation, if it's peer conflict resolution, all the different things that they may be facing as adolescents, moving through, that growth process, being able to, for themselves, learn how to deal with that themselves and utilizing that growth mindset. So for example, if a student on an academic level is challenged, we always say, they haven't achieved yet, and getting them to understand, on a social emotional level that we're allowed to make mistakes at this age, right? And we're here to help guide you through that process of growth. Likewise, just as important is just in our interactions with our peers, with the adults, is that there's also a not yet mentality. So again, let's say we have certain students that may have a hard time with losing their temper, right? We never judge the student in that sense. We say, hey, you haven't mastered that ability yet, but all of us are here to help guide you through that process. And the biggest thing for us is, this is taking restorative justice and restorative practice to heart. It takes time. And we're willing to put in that time with each and every individual student to try to figure out what's the source. Is there a capacity issue? Is it a skill issue? Is it a motivation issue with each individual student? And giving them the tools bit by bit, discussion by discussion, small group by small group, to give them the tools necessary for them to be successful. And once they are able to get themselves, in the right place on a personal level, on a social emotional level, they go right back into the classes and are able to shoot forward, academically and with the other things that they're trying to do creatively.
That's awesome. Does that mean, Mr. Acevedo, that we have no behavioral standards for students?
Not at all. Not at all. And that's where, finding that delicate balance between letting everybody know and understand what the boundaries and the limits are when it comes to, or what the expectations are, essentially, whether it's in the classroom or in the hallways, in the cafeteria, those things have to be known, understood, and be clearly defined so that the general community is conducive to learning. But at the same time, even if we have to check a student on a behavior, it's having those restorative type of conversations, let them understand what they did and how it impacted the community at large, whether it's something that impacted just their relationship with the adult. It could be the relationship with one or the class of students, how it impacted, maybe the flow of things in the school, in the facility at large. but taking the time to have the conversation so that they're not just given something punitive as a consequence, but they get an understanding as to what it is that the decision that I made, how it impacted everybody else, so that then they can start developing their own personal responsibility and develop empathy. And empathy is the key to all of us, even as adults, really growing and building the kind of community, whether it's in our homes, whether it's outside of our homes, in the neighborhoods and things like that. Empathy is the key to that. And we have that, as you see here in our creative, SEL stands for social emotional learning. In our framework, we have creative with all of our character values, and empathy, though it's on the bottom, it's the foundation by which everything else, is built. So, we start off, we do different assemblies where we highlight students and some of their projects based on these different character values. We recognize students who are, achievers in these particular areas. Bit by bit, we're trying to expand our arts to do creative arts around our creative framework as well. So these are the kind of things that we're trying to build upon, even in academics, just integrating everything, understanding that the growth of the child comes from all angles, from the creative side, academic side, and the social emotional side.
Thank you so much for that. It's such a good heart that we have. And I'm so proud of our work that we've done around that. So thank you, Mr. Acevedo.
For sure.
Next, we would be remiss if we didn't hear from a mom, as I told you before. So we have Miss Erica Jackson who's going to talk to us a little bit about other family perspective. Erica?
Hey everyone. Yes, I'm Erica Jackson. As mentioned previously, my son is in 8th grade. So he started at AIM, of course, in 8th grade since this is year 1. And so the transition, I was super nervous about. It's definitely a different, location compared to the other academic facilities he's been in. My son's been in uniform all up until AIM, no cell phones all up until AIM. And so a lot of the transition and was a little bit nerve-wracking, but we're making it through. And I'm actually really, there were times where like, did we make the right decision? And based on, just those cultural shocks, right, alone. But every day I'm reminded that it was the perfect decision to move him with just 1 year left until graduation. My son is interested in the arts. He's always excelled academically. He's a straight A student. Got to pull some strings now with the culture shock, but, balance is key. But he is into the arts for sure. And so to know that when I was growing up and in school and we had the arts readily at hand, ways to express ourselves all in school. And, everyone knows we're in school most of our time of life, right? So to have those options readily available daily was very important for us as a family, considering, his desires of what he would like to partake in as an adult. So we'll see. And so that I'm confident in knowing that Art in Motion is providing these options for my son. I'm also an educator, as Ms. Keys mentioned. Like, she started off as a parent and now she works with AIM, and that's actually her in the picture there that I just noticed. So as an educator, I also know the importance of the academic side of things. So the communication piece has been amazing. Like, teachers text and it's like, not just like, hey, this is what your child has done for the day, but they also text, email, come into the building, they're welcoming, like, let's talk. There's all different types of modes of communication that the school uses. So we appreciate that for sure. The academic experience, like I mentioned a little bit earlier, is with me being an educator, academics is key. The experience now has definitely been a change for us all, I'm sure nationwide. But I will say that Art in Motion has done an amazing job, and I've messaged Cara, Miss May, and I messaged Ms. Reichel a few times to let them know that they have an amazing staff. And I mean that like wholeheartedly. With week 3, of this e-learning experience. So just to imagine that the magic that they're producing electronically, I can't even imagine myself to being a student in the building to see what magic is being produced on a daily basis. With the art experience, I think my son got a little excited second semester when students were able to actually pick their wayfind that was mentioned. And so he's taken, oh goodness, he's taking dance. He's not a dancer, but he's so like into it, and especially now with like they have assignments and stuff, so like he's really into it and learning the dances, but he's not someone to get up in front of someone to dance, but to see him do it and get excited is super, like it's an amazing experience to have. But yeah, that's as far as like the school culture and everything. I would say I'm at ease. I have peace where he is. I'm not concerned about safety. I'm not concerned about whether or not a teacher would hear what I'm asking as it relates to how we communicate about my son, and whether it's his academics, his behavior, attendance, whatever the case may be. And even to the point with the social, emotional learning aspect, being able to talk to the school social worker, you know, whenever something I may think like, you know, because teenage life is hard, right? So if I have a question and want to know how to approach something, there is somebody on the campus, and like I said, I'm at ease and I'm at peace because there's always somebody that I can speak to about him as a whole student. So sorry, my pups.
Hey, so Erica, can you talk to us just a little bit about the PAC?
Yes, the PAC is the Parent Advisory Council. I have never been on a Parent Advisory Council. Give me one. E-learning. So give me one.
This is perfect, guys. I love it.
The PAC is basically our Parent Advisory Council. We started off with 5 parents, and so I've never been a part of a PTO, as mentioned. And so, this gives us an opportunity to meet other parents that are eager for their academic journey with AIM, but also to work very closely with the school. So we have meetings where we're planning events. We are actually engaged with the staff at AIM and Distinctive Schools. And we're just trying to grow our community as a whole as it relates to Art in Motion and the Parent Advisory Council.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And that Parent Advisory Council has done some great work already. We're so thankful for you guys. So thank you so much for your time, Ms. Jackson. Mr. Patuco, can you talk to our families about their next steps in this process?
Yes, thank you, Mrs. May. Like I mentioned earlier, it is really a pleasure to support you through this process, to inform you as much as we can about Art in Motion, and also to assist you with entering into this experience in the coming weeks and in the coming months. So with that, we want you to know that we are always available to you to answer your questions, to help you through this process in whatever way you might need assistance. The next step to actually accept your offer for Art in Motion for the 9th grade is to go into your GoCPS account and accept your offer in that portal. That might be difficult for some families. Perhaps you can't find a password. Perhaps you don't remember how to exactly navigate that. We'd love for you to reach out to us. There's an email address at the bottom of this page where we will be available even over spring break to answer your questions, to perhaps set up a call to help you through that process of moving through the Go CPS system. We want you to keep asking questions. Like we said, we're here to support you. So even if you'd like to set up a follow-up call, appointment, live chat like this after this open house, we will set that up with you in the coming days and in the coming week. If you'd like to meet or do a follow-up with someone who's been on this call just to get a little bit more of a deeper perspective from a parent or from Mrs. May or from an arts teacher or a core academic teacher, we'll set that up for you too. So please reach out to us, aimapply@distinctiveschools.org. If we need to talk by phone after that, we'll do that. But we're very excited to support you through this process and hopefully to welcome you in the coming weeks and in the coming months. So if you haven't already, we'd also like to now open up a bit of a live Q&A with Mrs. May and the rest of our panelists. So if you haven't, please enter some questions into the chat. We're going to look through those to then sort through them and identify what people are looking for, some answers you might be looking for on different topics, and then we'll open that up to everyone now.